Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Welcome back to Verse of the Week. This week's verse comes from Jeremiah 29:13. And this is God talking to his people, and he says, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." See, I can read that one verse and I can be encouraged and I can be excited because it talks about me encountering God. But when I look at the context of chapter 29 in Jeremiah, there's God fulfilling his promises to his people. Right? He just comes off of actually returning God's people, his chosen people, to the promised land after 70 years of being exiled. Saying, hey, after 70 years, you're going to get to return. And then he says this verse, you will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. The thing I love is that promise, the fact that we get to find him, isn't required for him to be faithful. Right? The beginning of the chapter actually talks about God's promises. The beginning of the chapter talks about how God is going to do what he says he's going to do. He is trustworthy because the Bible's filled with over 8,000 promises, and not one of them has ever been proven false. So he's just given promises and promises and promises, and he's always coming through. But verse 13 is actually my opportunity to respond, your opportunity to respond. This is God's people's opportunity to respond to God's faithfulness. So when he says, you will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart, God's going to come through because he always does. God's going to fulfill his promises because he is trustworthy. He is good. But because of his faithfulness, because of his goodness, we have the opportunity to seek him. And we have a choice if we're going to do it half-heartedly, kind of not taking it seriously. I'm just going to go to church. I'm just going to read my one verse of the week once and then be done. I'm going to tell Brian, yeah, I memorized it, but not look at the context of what he's saying. Not understand the character of the God I'm reading about. Those are all great things, and I think it's steps in the right direction. But what I'm hoping for these verses of the week, like I've said for 3 weeks now, is I hope that you get to know God's character through reading his word. That through this verse, you're going to get to know God's faithfulness, God's goodness. But it does require some action on our part. Start memorizing this. Write the words of God on your heart. Hopefully take this as motivation from this day forward to say, I want to get to know God more. I want to seek him and find him with my whole heart. I want to give him my everything because he's already given me everything. Right? God sent his only son to die on a cross for the sins and the death that we deserve. And what we get to do is just seek and find him with our whole heart. He's done everything he needs to do. And all we have to do is want to get to know him. So I pray that you'd read this verse, be encouraged, seek and find him in every aspect of your life this week. Have a good one.